Sorry about that. Sorry about that, yo. We had a little technical difficulties there. 1 second. Let me go back in. Let me go back in, y'all. Hold on a second. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come back up in here. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me share the page while y'all coming through. Don't forget, as soon as you join this stream, hit that like button down below. Like the video. Give the video a like. Don't forget to share the video. Go ahead, hit that share down below. Share this video right now. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Come up in here, y'all. Let me see who's coming in. Let me just share this real quick. Let me go over to Facebook really quick, yo. Alright, we getting ready to go, yo. Hit that like button down below. I'm going over to Facebook really quick. I gotta share this on Facebook really fast, y'all. Alright, we good. Alright, y'all. Sorry about that. Early 1 minute coming in here. Had some technical difficulties in there. Y'all come up in here. We got a nice live lined up for y'all today. Thursday Night Live, man. We're gonna have some fun this week. We're not gonna be too serious this week. We're gonna fall back, let our hair down, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Today we're gonna be talking about the Joe Budden interview. All right, if you haven't checked out the Joe Budden interview, Joe Budden recently interviewed your girl Nicki Minaj. Well, she's Trinidadian, so that's my girl too. Shout out to the Trinidad and Tobago native Nicki Minaj. So Joe Budden interviewed Nicki. We're going to talk about that today. A lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of interviews, a lot of interesting interviews. Like you guys are just out here doing interviews and creating a whole bunch of content for us, man. So we also got the game. The game went on Drink Champs. Did his interview on Drink Champs. So we got the game. Also, we're going to talk about the game. He says he's better than Eminem. He wants to do a versus against Eminem. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to throw it to y'all tonight. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that the game can defeat Eminem? Do y'all think Eminem can defeat Game in a versus? We're going to talk about that as well. We also going to talk some versus matchups. It's almost that time, yo. Last versus was February 15th. Alright, so we're almost a month past. So between a month, 2 months is when the next versus is going to come. So the next versus is going to be coming pretty soon. Maybe like another few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to see the next versus. So let's start the talk, yo. Who's going to be in the next versus? Y'all realize y'all in here in Busta Rhymes talking no more. Busta Rhymes has been quiet. So is Busta ready to do a versus? I see Diamond Onyx is in the building. The Diamond is in the building. Diamond, thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Drop a comment tonight, Diamond. Let me know what you think about that interview if you saw it. Joe Budden interviewed Nicki Minaj. I know you saw the Drink Champs interview with the game. Let me know, Diamond, do you think the game can the game beat Eminem in a versus? And also, today we're going to be talking about Kanye West stem player. I know y'all talked about that some weeks ago. A whole bunch of y'all said y'all were going to get the stem player. Where y'all stem players at? Hit the comments down below. I see Jason in the building. Jason, thanks for joining the stream. I see Blocker Time in the building. Blocker, thanks for joining the stream. What's up? I see Michael Mascaro's in the building. Michael, thanks for joining the stream. I'm throwing it to y'all tonight, man. I'm throwing it to y'all tonight. Did y'all see the Joe Budden Nicki Minaj interview? We posted up on our Instagram page, and Jason put a response. Let me get Jason's response. Jason responded to the IG. Let me go to the IG real quick. Hold up. Where we go with the IG? All right, so we put up the post on IG, which asked, Nicki Minaj lied. Did Nicki Minaj lie in her Joe Budden interview? Is the game really better MC than Eminem? And versus predictions. Jason dropped a comment for us. Jason says it is debatable. It's debatable if Eminem can be defeated by the game. Eminem sold more records, Jason is saying, which is true. Eminem did sell a whole gangbuster video of albums. So does that make him a better MC than the game? Drop a comment in the comment. I want to hear what y'all got to say about that tonight. I see Sarah's in the building. Sarah, thanks for joining the stream. Sarah's in a really good mood this last few days, y'all. The Knicks has been on a winning streak. I think the Knicks has won 3. Is it 3 in a row? I think they won 3 in a row. So y'all give it up for the Knicks. Knicks dropped 3 in a row. Let me get some comments, y'all. Diamond Onyx says, don't forget to erase your first try. Yes, I'm gonna make sure and get that up out of here, Diamond. Thanks for that. Says, see you next time. I needed to drop a comment, Diamond, before you leave. What do you think about the topics? I see Jason here. Jason said, what's up? The plug is in the building. The plug is in the building. Shout out to Jason. Always got the news first for us. We got Michael Mascaro says, we in here. Shout out. Sarah throwing up the hello. Thank you for joining, Sarah. Blocker Sam said, why you gotta do that to my mans like that, bro? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Blocker. Jason says, yes, I saw the interview and hell no, I ain't got that stem player. A few of y'all, I'm not gonna forget this. There were a few of y'all. Big Shug was one of them. Big Shug said he wanted to get a stem player, if I remember correctly. I think Sarah also mentioned she's interested in the stem player. There were a few of y'all that said you wanted the stem player. So where the stem player at? Where that $200 stem player? Anyway, let's get into the first order of business. Let me just hit some more comments before I get into this. Again, Jason said he saw the interview. Jason, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the interview. If you watched the whole interview, let me know, Jason, what you thought about the questions that Joe Budden was asking. Was Joe Budden being a real interviewer with the questions that he asked? I thought those were some really softball questions that he was asking, but that's just me. Drop in the comments. Let me know if you saw the Joe Budden Nicki Minaj interview. What do you think about the questions that he was asking her? Excuse me. Jason got another comment. Jason says, no, selling more records doesn't mean you're a better rapper. It's a lot of whack rappers and one-hit wonders that sold more than top-tier MC. That is actually true. MC Hammer is not considered a great MC, but MC Hammer sold millions and millions of records. Guys like I remember Vanilla Ice. When Vanilla Ice first came out, Vanilla Ice sold a gang bunch of albums, and it didn't really last that long. So yes, there are a lot of MCs that sell big numbers, and Eminem is in that category, y'all. So here's the thing. Here's where Eminem sits with a lot of people. There's a lot of people that think that Eminem is really talented, and he deserves to be in that top 10, top tier list of rappers. And there are some people that just think that because he's white, he sold a lot of records. Okay? So, is he talented? Is it that he is a white rapper in a considered black sport, hip-hop, while he's selling records? I think he is talented. I think he does have some game. So, thanks for that comment, Jason. Sarah has a comment. Sarah says, don't misquote me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Excuse me, Sarah. Sorry for misquoting you. Let me read the comment. Sarah says, don't misquote me. I am in a good mood. Nothing to do with my Knicks. They got a losing record and ain't going nowhere this season. And we lost another player. Cam Reddish separated his shoulder. Oh, man. I like Cam Reddish, man. He's playing some good defense, y'all. Send some love to the Knicks out there, y'all. Send some love to the Knicks. We need it right now. Blocker says, I was technically talking about Busta Rhymes. Yeah, Busta Rhymes is going to do a versus soon. He's being very quiet. Let's see what's going on with him. Michael Mascaro has a comment. Michael says, Eminem has been past his prime in my opinion. I think the game at this point could be more lyrical bar for bar than M. Ooh, so Eminem is past his prime. Now, that's a good statement. Past your prime, because I was gonna say Eminem is still releasing music, but that's not what Michael said. Michael said he is past his prime because in 2020 Eminem dropped the Music is to Be Murdered By, and in 2018 he dropped Kamikaze. 27 he dropped Revival. 2013. So for a 4-year span, 2017, 2018, 2020, Eminem has been dropping music. So that's not too far away. But like Michael says, he says he's past his prime. Which is interesting. Which is interesting. We're going to get back to that. Let me hit him a few more comments before we get back into Nicki Minaj. Blocker says, I feel like Joe Budden is living in the sissy soap opera days. Listen, there's some of y'all out there that don't like Joe Budden. There's some of y'all like Joe Budden. One of the things you have to give Joe Budden, this is something. Listen, Joe Budden is a very intelligent person. No matter what you think about him, I think he does some stuff that rubs me the wrong way. But if you follow Joe Budden's career and what he's doing right now in media, Joe Budden is a very intelligent person, and he makes great business moves. When it comes to friendships and being a man of his word and stuff like that, that may be a little bit shaky. But when it comes to business and in this media space, Joe Budden has the eye for it. Let's jump into your girl Nicki Minaj, yo. So I see G Mafia in the building. Brooklyn is in the building, yo. Shout out to G Mafia. Rest in peace, B.I.G. Brooklyn's in the house. Brooklyn's always in the house, man. Brooklyn's always here. Biggie's always here. Let's get into this. So your girl Nicki Minaj did the interview. And Nicki Minaj said something that just caught my ear. She was talking about not getting her props. She says, I don't get my props when it comes to fashion. I put fashion on the map. I started doing these fashions and it started getting noticed. I moved the needle with fashion. She went into a rant about Billie Eilish wearing wigs. I've been wearing wigs since I came into the game, and I started wearing wigs, and now every female wants to wear wigs. Whoa, Nicki, whoa. They didn't want me wearing a pink wig, but Billie Eilish wears a pink wig. Billie Eilish wears a green wig. I need my respect. This is your girl Nicki on the big stage talking about putting wigs in style, putting fashion, bringing female fashion to magazines. They're not putting her in magazines. She's the one that started wearing wigs, started wearing pink wigs. Nicki started that? Hold on a second. Let me just show y'all something. I hope y'all can see this picture on the screen. If y'all can see the picture on the screen, drop in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the picture on the screen, y'all. Drop a thumbs up in there. Tribal Gigolo is in the building. Tribal, thanks for joining the stream. If y'all can see the picture on the screen, give me a thumbs up, please. I'm gonna wait for y'all to give me a thumbs up. I see Damar King. Damar King is in the building. Damar King, thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. Let me see them thumbs up in the chat if y'all can see that picture that I've just put up on the screen. Okay. Nicki Minaj says that she is the one She is the one that started this, wearing pink wigs, fashion. I brought fashion to the forefront of female rap. I need my respect. Ooh, ooh. That picture right there, if you know anything about Lil' Kim, you will know that's a pretty old picture of Lil' Kim. And if I'm if I'm blind, I mean, that looks like a pink wig. It could be purple. You know, my eyes aren't that good. But it looks like a pink wig to me. Nicki goes on about bringing fashion into the hip hop game. I started this. I brought this forward. Let me show you guys something else. Let me show you something else. Let me show you guys something else here. Hold on a second, y'all. Nicki talks about bringing fashion to the female hip hop game. Do y'all know what that CD means on Foxy's clothes? If y'all know what the CD means, hit the chat down below. If you and again, if you know Foxy, you will know this is an old picture of Foxy Brown. If you know what that CD means on her bikini, drop it in the comment section down below. I'm gonna hit some comments in the meantime. Again, G Mafia is here. G Mafia, thanks for coming through. Brooklyn is here. DeMar King, thanks for coming through. G Mafia got a comment. G Mafia says crackback as well. Biggie numbers, but destroyed by Big. Ooh, Blocker, yo, listen. G Mafia be dropping some gems, yo. Blocker said I still want to see Busta Rhymes to do a versus. He is going to do a versus. It's coming soon. Trust me. Blocker says Nicki Minaj is scared to do a versus. I totally 100% agree. Triborough says salute to the chat. 16 salute to you, Triborough. I see you doing your thing out there, man. Salute. Keep doing your thing. Keep getting those interviews. Keep dropping those videos, man. Shout out to you. Triborough says Nicki is a direct carbon copy of Kim. If you know what that CD means on Foxy Brown's bikini, drop it in the comment section. Triborough got the thumbs up. Thank you for that. Shower got the thumbs up. Okay, good. You guys can see. Great. Let me hit some more. Michael Mascaro says Christian Dior. Triborough says China doll. So, Christian Dior. You know what Christian Dior is, all right? Expensive stuff. I never bought Christian Dior. I don't have Christian Dior money to buy for nobody, so I never got Christian Dior. But, Christian Dior. This is what kills me, y'all. Some of these female rappers be coming out of the blue. Like they didn't do their homework. Like you wasn't watching these other females do their thing when you were young. Why are you acting like you don't know what was before you? Triborough just put it in the chat. You're a carbon copy of Lil' Kim. You want to wear pink wigs and change your wigs. I got nothing against that. But we all know where you got that from. All the fashion that you guys want to wear now, you ladies, and come out with the different fashions, that was done before you. Why can't you just come out and give props? Yo, Lil' Kim, she started that fashion. Foxy, yo. Foxy, these are the women that started that fashion stuff in hip hop. We had people like MC Lyte. MC Lyte wasn't really into fashion like that. Salt and Pepper, even though they were, you know, fly and stuff, they really wasn't pushing the fashion trigger like that. Queen Latifah, Roxanne Shante. There's a lot of female that came before Nicki and Foxy, but they weren't really doing the fashion like that. These are the two females that started it. I always tell y'all, if y'all don't believe me, y'all might think I be saying stuff, I'll be wilding, I'll be just going crazy. Go do your research, y'all. Lil' Kim, mostly Lil' Kim, but Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, they were really on their fashion stuff. Lil' Kim was on that wig. Listen, y'all. There's no reason you should come out here and do these interviews. Nicki, I know you think that you sold more records than these ladies. Maybe not as much as maybe Kim, but you sold a lot of records. But when it comes to fashion, when it comes to different color wigs, come on, y'all. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. Let's be real where that really came from, y'all. I know y'all be thinking, Onslaught, let's be real. We know where all that stuff came from. You see Lil' Kim's hair? Let me open it up a little bit more for y'all if you can't see it too well. You see the hair? You see the Chanel? You see the this is not today's Lil' Kim. This is the Shout out to all the females that pioneered fashion in hip hop. Shout out to the females, you know who you are, that pioneered fashion in hip hop. A lot of you females now, y'all are able to go and these companies, Balenciaga, Gucci, all of these companies now are able to give y'all deals, market your stuff, send y'all some free clothes. Y'all can go on the runway and do all that stuff. Y'all need to sit back and really show Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown some respect. When you guys, when y'all ladies, when y'all go up on these interviews and do these interviews and talk about fashion, who's running fashion, who started fashion, you need to start giving props to the ones that started it. Shout out to Kim, shout out to Foxy. I'm going to hit some comments before we switch gears over here. A lot of y'all in the building tonight, thanks for coming through. Let me go back up, let me go, yeah, I'm going to go back to Michael Mascaro's comment, Christian Dior. Tribor says China Doll, which is interesting too. That CD, because China Doll was the name of Foxy's album, so that could have been a little, but I think that was a Christian Dior outfit. Tribor says appreciate that, thank you. No, shout out to you, Tribor, man, watching you, man, you're doing your thing. Props. Damar King says Christian Dior, Foxy new 100%. Triborough Gigolo has a comment. Triborough says Doja Cat is an offspring of both Nicki and Kim. I agree. A lot of these females are carbon copies. Michael Mascaro got another comment. Michael Mascaro says a lot of these designer brands been in hip hop fashion since the 80s. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Dior, MCM. Shout out to MCM. I seen somebody wearing an MCM jacket the other day. Shout out to MCM, etc. Dapper Dan is the originator. Shout out to Dapper Dan. Thank you for that, Michael. Dapper Dan was one of those, if you don't know who Dapper Dan is a tailor. But he's much more than a tailor. Back in the 80s, when rappers were coming out and like Michael just said, Gucci, Fendi, all these big name brands were out back then. But they weren't making clothes for the urban environment. So I think Dapper Dan's from Harlem. I think it's Harlem. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. What Dapper Dan would do is he would actually make custom-made Gucci clothing for artists. Okay, so one of the most popular is Eric B and Rakim. Go look at the Paid in Full album. On the Paid in Full album, Eric B. and Rakim is wearing Gucci jackets. Those are actually custom-made Dapper Dan Gucci jackets. So yes, Dapper Dan, back then in the 80s when rappers wanted to get that Gucci, but Gucci wasn't really making urban clothes, they were going to Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan was making custom-made Gucci, and Dapper Dan has been around. Dapper Dan is still here today, putting down some work. So yes, Michael is right. A lot of these designer brands been in hip-hop fashion since the 80s. Gucci was around, it's still here. Louis Vuitton was around, Louis Vuitton's still here. Fendi, Dior, they're all still here. I want to switch gears right when Michael says that. I want to hear what you guys got to say about this. Okay? I want to hear what you guys got to say about this one. I'm going to put a picture up here. You guys comment. You guys comment down below. Okay? So, over the weekend, last week, Jim Jones, you guys know who Jim Jones is. Jim Jones, rapper, artist, Harlem in the building. Sarah, Harlem in the building. Jim Jones did a fashion show, and it raised a lot of eyebrows. A lot of people, were coming at him for the way he was dressed. And also that, you know, he's an artist, a hip hop artist that's known to dress, you know, Jim Jones dressed down. Sneakers, his sneaker game is crazy. Sneakers, boots, clothing. He has his new VL, Vamp Life glasses. So Jim Jones always dresses down. This picture right here is a picture of Jim Jones walking the runway in Paris. What do you guys think about Jim Jones starting a modeling career? Hit the comments down below. What do y'all think about this picture here of Jim Jones in Paris doing his modeling thing? I'm gonna hit some comments while you guys drop a comment in there. Sarah has a comment. Sarah says, tell her I said to get a compass. Whose map? Where and where? Chillax, child. Ooh. Sarah dropping them low blows tonight, man. Yes, Nikki. You need to get that. Triborough got a comment. Triborough says, Nicki made good music. She had a good 6 or 7 year run by herself until Cardi B and Megan came out. Then Remy demolished her with the Sheet of this record. Ooh. Nicki came out in the early 2000s, right? Under the Young Money. Yeah. When Nicki was around, there wasn't really any hard-hitting females really putting down music like that. At that time, when Nicki was on her rise, yeah, there really weren't a lot of heavy-hitting females. I don't think Rhapsody was around back then. And yes, Remy was still away. And she was actually throwing subs at Remy while Remy was locked up too. So, and Remy did that Sheet the record. Woo. Woo. Let me hit the bottom of the comments. Let me go down to the comments. You guys got a lot of comments tonight, man. Thank you for joining. Let me hit some comments from the bottom. Michael got a comment. He says, someday Kanye is going to create a cult where everyone dresses like him and listen to unfinished songs. Understand? Oh, man. Y'all disrespectful, man. Jason got a comment. Jason says, the only thing I liked about Nicki's interview is her giving props to Foxy Brown. I'm personally tired of Foxy contributions to hip-hop getting overlooked. I'm glad Nicki and Foxy are cool. I think that is spot on, y'all. A lot of times when people talk about the female hip-hop and the stuff that female hip-hop artists did for the game, Foxy gets overlooked a lot. That is facts. That is facts. And Foxy has been putting it down. Let me give y'all another Foxy picture. Foxy has been holding it down. Okay, let me give you this. Foxy Brown. Foxy has been holding it down. When it comes to fashion, when it comes to fashion, Foxy has been doing it for years. Let me hit some more comments, y'all. Thanks for that comment, Jason. Custom Designs is in the building. Custom Designs, thanks for coming through. Custom Design says, I would follow you. I've been MIA building my brand. Shout out Custom Designs. Keep that brand going. Michael Moscow says, Jim Jones trying to dress like yay now. Oh, God. Jason got a comment. Jason says, oh, no, not Jimmy. So that fashion show was in Paris was actually very interesting to see. And I'm always skeptical about rap artists that get into fashion. This is Serena Williams. She was also at the fashion show in Paris, so she also hit the runway as well. So Serena Williams was there as well. There were a lot of big designers out there, and there were some artists, sports people out there. So it was a very big fashion show. As you can see, Serena Williams hit the runway as well. I got one more for y'all. Let me give y'all one more before we move on from this topic. I'm gonna give y'all one more before we move on. All right. So, shout out to your boy Jim Jones. Fashion. Hit the comments, man. What y'all think about Jim Jones hitting the fashion? This was underneath. This was underneath the jacket that he. Oh man, listen. We gonna move on from this topic, man. Let me hit some comments. Oh man, before we move up out of here, man. Shout out to Custom Designs. Custom Designs is here. We see. Let me hear some more comments from Custom Designs. Custom Designs got a comment. Every artist gets their run till you know their story. Then people stop caring as much. Interesting comment. Okay. Triborough got a comment. Triborough says, facts. I think Foxy needs to reciprocate the acknowledgement and do a song with Nicki. Reintroduce herself to the new generation. I really don't know what's going on with Foxy. I know people said that she had the hearing implement thing, so I think that kind of derailed her career a little bit. But for what I've been reading, Triborough, there have been people saying that she got it fixed. So I don't know. And the last time we heard Foxy was on Nas's King's Disease album, and she sounded amazing. That track that she had, those bars she had on that King's Disease album, that was hard. So I really don't know where Foxy is right now, what she's doing, but you're right. Foxy needs to let these new cats know, yeah, look, I get busy. But here's another thing too. Can she, it's been a lot of years now, can she still get busy on the mic? And this is for Foxy Brown. I don't know. Drop in the comments, what do you guys think about Foxy Brown dropping new music? I would love to hear it. I will definitely download it. I don't know how good she will be though. Thanks for that comment, Triborough. That was a good comment. Blocker got a comment. Blocker says, no, Nicki Minaj came out in 2010, not in the early 2000s. Okay. I'm not sure where. I remember the Nicki run, but I don't remember exactly when Nicki came out. I know it was, she came out with Big Fendi when she was under Fendi, when she was coming up in Jamaica, Queens. But when she really came out with Young Money, I forgot what time that was when she came out with Young Money. But before Young Money, she was running around in Queens with Big Fendi, trying to get her career started off. Thanks for that, Blocker. Jason got a comment. Jason says, Triborough, they did on her last album is called Coco Chanel. Okay. All right. Custom Design says, Foxy only has one dope album. A lot of females that I speak to, they love China Doll. Me, I thought China Doll was okay. But a lot of females I speak to, China Doll is like the second best album that they like, and then the other one is Broken Silence is like their third best album. But most people I speak to, it's always Il Nana and China Doll are like the one and two. A lot of people love China Doll, and the females say it's because it was a very personal album. So again, I've never really liked China Doll that much. I think it was okay, but a lot of females love that album. Thanks for that, Custom Designs. Triborough got a comment. Triborough says Jim Jones is a fashionista? What is a fashionista, if I'm pronouncing it correctly? Back in 2000s, nobody was rocking True Religion jeans and Nike ACG boots till Dipset started the trend. Yeah, I remember that True Religion run, yo. That True Religion run was crazy. Everybody was talking about True here in New York when True Religion popped off, yo. Custom Designs got a comment. Custom Design says, when these artists with ghostwriters go on their own, they don't be as successful. I think Nicki Minaj fell into that as well. Nicki Minaj was very good under whoever else, well, Safari. But ever since that, her quality in her music, I think, has taken a dip. I think Lil' Kim as well. When Biggie was here and Lil' Kim was releasing music with Biggie around, the quality of her music took a hit when Biggie passed. G Mafia is here. G Mafia got a comment. G Mafia says Joe Budden got issues. Joe Budden's my man. Joe Budden says some crazy stuff sometimes, but Joe Budden, like I said, if you listen to Joe Budden talk business and talk media and YouTube and Spotify, he says some very, very interesting things. Triborough says Serena looking gorgeous. That's facts. That is facts. Oh my God, the chat is crazy. I gotta block somebody in here. Oh man, this is me first. Wasn't I block? Anyway, let's move on, man. Yo, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of that right now too, but my chat is not letting me pull it up, Jason. Where this band was coming from, man? That's crazy. Let me see if I can take it out. All right. I'm gonna have to deal with that another time. All right, y'all. Miss Cherish the Pen Nelson, thanks for coming through. Miss Cherish the Pen Nelson says, boy, Nas said Fox can pen. Dr. Dre said the same. Foxy does have bars, yo. Shout out to Foxy. Block of Time says Rod Digger needs to do a verses. I don't think Rod Digger has enough hits to do a verses. All right, yo. Today we talking about Joe Budden, Nicki Minaj interview. What do y'all think about that? Let me take this Jim Jones down from the screen. Let me take a Jim Jones off of the screen, yo. Let me give you one more before we get up out of here. Where we going with this? We're going to put my girl up in there one more time. All right. Today we're talking about the Joe Budden interview with your girl, Nicki Minaj. If you saw the interview, what do you think about the interview? Also, The Game says he's better than Eminem. The Game, I think, wants to do a versus against Eminem. What do you guys think about that, y'all? Do y'all think The Game is bugging? This is the thing, y'all. The Game has always been a very, what do you call it when you're, he's, I don't want to say full of himself. I forgot the word. When you have very confident. The Game has always been a very confident artist. I followed The Game's career since he came out with Aftermath. So there's a time that when you listen to West Coast hip hop, a lot of the big West Coast artists were kind of on the decline or really wasn't putting out music like that. And The Game was really holding down the West Coast, yo. There is a time when when G-Unit had their run, and when that G-Unit run was going on, and when the G-Unit run ended, The Game carried the West for a few years, yo. So the Game is a very confident artist. Now, here's the thing. The Game's discography, I think, is very questionable. Yes, he's put out a lot of albums, but how good are all of those albums? Now, we all talk about Eminem, all right? Eminem is an amazing artist. Eminem got hits. Eminem got bangers. Eminem has an army behind him. There are people that love Eminem all over the world. Eminem is a worldwide name. Is the Game as big of an artist as Eminem? So listen. Whenever you do a versus, you got to think about the world now. The versus is no longer US. Okay? Yes, the versus is still here in the US, but people all over the world are watching versus now. Okay? Just look at what they did with that Beanie Man Bounty Killer. When that versus pushed numbers. Alright, so yes, where you're going to hold the versus is going to be important. Eminem is from Detroit. The Game is from California, so the West Coast, LA. So if you do a versus, Game versus Eminem in Detroit, with that crowd behind M, he might get that win in his city. If you hold that versus on the West Coast, listen, M is not gonna get a win if you put a versus and you station it in the West Coast. All right, so this versus, if it happens, it has to be neutral. So if the Game goes against Eminem in a neutral spot, who do y'all think wins this one? Eminem got the bigger name. Game got some big hits. Eminem, yeah. He has them stands. When them stands come out, them stands be coming out for Eminem, boy. But the Game got some bangers. The Game got the West Coast on his back. The people that love G-Unit is gonna vote for who wins. If they put this versus in a neutral place, does Eminem have party hits like the Game? The Game got some party hits that him and 50 put down. Does Eminem have the hits to switch up? Eminem has stuff with Mariah Carey, right? I think he does. Not Mariah Carey, no. Not Mariah Carey. He beefing with Mariah Carey. He does have some songs with some R&B, some big R&B names. So that's the question I got for y'all. I think they both have great discographies. I think the Game has a nice discography. I can easily pick out 20 songs from the Game. Eminem, I can easily pick out 20 songs from Eminem, but I might have a hard time picking out club bangers from Eminem. I don't think he has many club bangers, so that might be a little tricky, but I can pick out 20 songs from Eminem's career to do a versus. I'm gonna throw it to y'all. Who do y'all think wins? Eminem versus the Game in a neutral spot. Neutral spot. Let me hit the comments, see what y'all talking about. Triborough got a comment. Triborough says, I was never a huge fan of the Game except for his first 2 albums, but M is on a different stratosphere. Game don't have enough to beat 50 yet alone M. Woo! Triborough went all the way there. Triborough isn't even giving the Game a chance. Wow. Michael Mascaro got a comment. Michael says, the Game said he would only do a versus with 50 Cent, but I think he's trying to say he'll do one with anyone now. Saying Eminem specifically is saying he's of that caliber of an MC. The Game has always thought that he is one of the best MCs. The Game thinks he is top 10 of all time. Listen to the Game's interviews. Listen to his interviews. He thinks that he is top 10 of all time. And if you live on the West Coast, with the body of work that the Game has, people might say that. Me? No. But there are people out there, if you say you're on the West Coast, and you say, yo, the game is the best, the game is top 10, top, people will believe that over there. Me personally, no. A lot of comments coming in. Blocker Time says, bars, I'm going with Eminem over the game. Ooh, G Mafia got a comment. G Mafia says, Lil was the first females to mention fashion, Lil Kim, in her wordplay, DKNY. DKNY, Omar, and Jiggy, it's all about the Mafia and Biggie. I want to remind you, G Mafia, I want to remind you, let me remind you, G Mafia. Let me remind you, G Mafia. Let me remind G Mafia of something. I'm going to remind G Mafia of something really quick. Really quick, G Mafia. I'm going to remind you of something really, really quick, G Mafia. G Mafia, I know you think Lil Kim started talking about fashion in her rhymes, okay? Lil Kim, and you already know this, G Mafia, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown albums came out 1 week apart. Okay, so if you're saying Lil Kim started talking about fashion first, Foxy was right there. Okay? Lil Kim and Foxy Brown's albums both came out in 1996, and their both albums came out 1 week apart. They were both releasing music before the albums come out. Foxy was rocking with Hova, Rockefeller, and with Nas. I give Kim all her props. Kim pushed the fashion all the way up. Shout out to Kim. But let's not forget, Foxy was rocking that Christian Dior early. I just want to remind you about that, G Mafia. I'm listening to you. Let me see what else. G Mafia, thank you for that. Tribal Gigolo. Tribal says M don't need club bangers to beat the game. I don't know, Tribal. Let me ask you this, Tribal. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna read the comment one more time. Tribal got a comment. Tribal says Eminem don't need club bangers to beat the game. Let me ask you this. Verzuz is 20 songs, right? And depending on the crowd that's there, right? Most of the times from all the verses that we've seen so far, we've seen men, we've seen some crowds, a lot of fellas and females. We've seen some crowds, a lot of females, fellas. But we've always seen a particular amount of male and female. Now, one of the things I follow a lot, Triborough, when these verses is going on, I have it on my TV, watching on a big screen, but I also have it on my IG. And when you go through the IG, you see a lot of people commenting on the IG. On that IG of those verses, there's a lot of females that be in that IG chat, throwing up the fire, commenting. So, I just want to ask you, when the verses starts to switch gears, remember you got 20 songs, can you stay one-toned throughout the whole verses? You look at Fat Joe, you look at Ja Rule. Yeah, they're both hardcore artists, but that verses change tempos throughout the verses. Look at the verses with Dipset and the Lox. When Dipset started playing female joints, the Lox said, yeah, we got those too. We got hit. Can you stay one-toned throughout a verses? I don't think you can. I think if an artist tries to stay one-toned throughout a 20-song verses, but thank you for the comment, Chiboro. Thank you for that. Let me go back up again. You guys got a lot of comments tonight, man. Loving it. Thank you. I'm going to go back up to Custom Designs. Custom Designs had a comment. He says, once again, the game has assistance with his first album. Second album was cool. After that, name 5 game songs from his third album or fourth album right now. Ooh, custom design is going in. Ooh. You know, last week we was talking about the game. And I was telling people that I liked the Red album. I think that was a good album. There was a Red and Blue album he had. I forgot what was the name of it. But valid point, man. I think the game's best albums is his first two albums. Everything after that was good, not great. The first two albums were great to me. But after that, all right. Let me read some more comments down below. Let me go down to the bottom, y'all. G Mafia says, what's good to Triborough? Triborough says, M can beat him with those corny commercials. I'm laughing, but it's true. Those commercial hits do be hitting hard. Let me finish the comment, yo. Triborough Gigolo says, Eminem can beat him with those corny commercial hits, like the real Slim Shady, but I would prefer he stay away from those and just use the strong album cuts. He's gonna have to play the boom. My name is the crowd's gonna go crazy, Triborough, when he drops my name is listen, all those stands all over the world, they're gonna lose their mind when he dropped that song, yo. Thank you for that comment. Michael Mascaro got a comment. Michael Mascaro said, don't forget the game helped put on Nipsey and Kendrick Lamar. Again, like I said, man, there was a time, yo, when there wasn't a lot of heavy hitting West Coast artists. Like Snoop Dogg has been in the limelight, but Snoop Dogg wasn't really dropping albums like that at a certain point. That point when the game came in and started moving music, and he's on the East Coast doing stuff, and he kept the West Coast going, y'all. And Nipsey did speak about the game. Rest in peace, Nipsey. And Kendrick is another big West Coast name, so I'm pretty sure about that too. Okay. Let's see what's going on. G Mafia got a comment. G Mafia says, but Lil Kim, Remy, and Nicki were all cool once upon a time until Nicki stopped being messy. This is the thing about the female rap game, y'all. I feel like the female rap game is very soft. Like when it comes to men, I don't think we're enjoying the female rap game as much as we did back in the 90s. Like there's some females out here right now that's moving numbers. Like Nicki was moving numbers. Cardi B is moving numbers. Meg, she's moving numbers. There's a bunch of females now that are moving numbers, but for the fellas, we're like, okay. Back when we had Foxy, there were fellas loving Foxy Brown music. Don't even talk about Lil' Kim. The dudes was loving Lil' Kim. Lady of Rage. The fellas love Lady of Rage. Bahamadia. Eve. There's so many, The Brat. There were so many female artists back in the 90s and the early 2000s that were amazing, hardcore females. I think the females now, I don't know, man. I don't know if we're feeling them like we were feeling those old artists. G Mafia, thank you for that comment. Yes, Lil' Kim, Remy, Nicki. You know, I think once Remy went away, the rap game kind of changed, and then Nicki had that run. And then when Nicki had her run, remember, Lil' Kim wasn't around either. Like Lil' Kim really wasn't doing music when Nicki was doing her thing. You know, and Nicki came in with a hardcore hip hop style. Nicki's style has changed over the years. Nicki, you know, the money probably wasn't in the hardcore realm, and she started going more pop. So Nicki had her run, but it'll be nice to see a Remy versus Kim, a Kim versus Nicki, a Kim versus Foxy Brown versus needs a hardcore female versus. I know we got Eve versus Trina Nah, that was cool. That was cool. But the Verzuz needs a heavy hitting female Verzuz. Not a I like you, I love you female Verzuz. No, they need a hard hitting Verzuz to get the internet going. The next Verzuz that they announce, it has to be something that just shakes everything up. Verzuz have been very safe as of late. Okay, so Swizz and Timbaland, you guys need to shake it up and give the people the next Verzuz. Excuse me, the next Verzuz. You guys gotta shake it up, man. All right, y'all. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, hit that donate button. Don't forget to share the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget, hit that subscribe button down below. Tomorrow is Freestyle Friday, yo. Listen, y'all. Tomorrow's Freestyle Friday is crazy. One of my favorite freestyles, yo. Yo, listen. When I was recording this, I had so much fun, yo. But, yo, tomorrow, Freestyle Friday. Y'all better tune in to the next Freestyle Friday. Y'all gotta drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about that one. Don't forget, Biggie versus Pun. Round 2 is already up. We dropped it on March 9th, yesterday. So go check out round 1. Go check out round 2 if you haven't caught them. Biggie versus Pun. Pun versus Biggie. Only guest verses. Nothing off the major albums. So y'all go check that out as well. Again, drop a comment tonight. Nicki Minaj, Joe Budden interview. What you guys thought about the interview? I thought it was an okay interview. Shout out to Nicki. Welcome back to the game. She talked about not being able to write while she was pregnant. She had kind of writer's block. So I would like to see where she comes back in the game. But I think right now, Nicki is going to follow the model that Remy Ma is doing. Because music is one thing. But if you listen to the interview, she says she has a new movie coming. She has a show coming. She's working on her clothing line. Queen Radio, she changed that. So it looks like she's about to get into the media side of things. She says she wants to own her own company. She wants to have artists. She's going to announce all that stuff soon. So it looks like she's making that transition like Remy Ma did. You remember when Remy Ma came home, she jumped right into the music. But the music, she started doing her clothing. She started doing more TV. She did a little movie here. So Remy Ma has transitioned over from music. Not all the way, but if you follow Remy Ma for the last few years, she's doing more media stuff now and clothing and makeup and stuff like that now than she's doing with music. So I think Nicki Minaj is taking the same page. So it's going to be interesting to see what Nicki does in the next year. But shout out to her. I hope she comes back and has a positive career, you know. But I do want to see Nicki do a Verzuz. I think that she has the caliber to do a Verzuz. She's hungry. She's confident. She has bars. She has way more than 20 tracks to put together on the Verzuz. So I don't think it'll be hard for her to find 20 tracks to do a Verzuz. But like I said, Verzuz needs to shake it up. They need something heavy on the next Verzuz. The last Verzuz with Music Soul Child was a little bit light, Valentine's Day. Verzuz needs a punch right now. That Dipset versus Locks, that had people talking for months and months and months. All right? That Music Soul Child versus Anthony Hamilton, that came and went. You know, they had a month. They're getting their numbers. The sales, they got their sales bump, but the internet, nobody's really talking about that Verzuz. So Timbaland, Swizz, I hope whoever you guys got lined up next shakes it up. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna hit a few more comments before we get up out of here. Custom Design says R.I.P. Biggie. Rest in peace, Notorious B.I.G. Triborough says good show tonight, 16. I always enjoy your content. Triborough, salute, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming through as always. Block of Time says, Jason, yes, she do. My 25th birthday is next Saturday. Happy birthday, Block. Enjoy your birthday. Jason says, name 20. I'm gonna drop it in your DM. I'm gonna drop it in the DM, Jason. Tribal says, happy early born day, Blocker. Shout out to you. Michael Mascaro got a comment. Michael Mascaro says, Eminem had a great catalog until he ruined it with his newer albums. He now has more bad albums than great at this point. Yeah. This is the thing about Eminem. Eminem is gonna sell no matter what he does, y'all. And it's sad that we live in a time where when someone puts out an album or puts out a song and the initial response is amazing, Billboard 200, blah, 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 sale, blah, blah, blah. People go crazy with those early numbers. But there are some content that people are releasing that's just not that good. And the reception that people give Eminem albums now, I see Iman in the building. Iman, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming through, Iman. The reception that people have with some of these newer albums, it's not the same. Like, I remember when Kamikaze came out, and there was a big thing about when that album was coming out, and then the album came, and it just felt like it came and went. You know, so it's sad that when music comes out now, because everybody has a device handy, the numbers are sometimes amazing when it first comes out, but the quality of music has taken a hit nowadays. So I hope you can get that up. Thank you for that comment. Jason says, block of time is a difference between 20 hits and 20 songs you like. That is facts. I like a lot of artists. I can give you 20 Memphis Bleak songs. I can give you 20 Memphis Bleak songs right now, but are they hits? No. Mem Bleak is my man. Shout out to Mem Bleak. Shout out to Get Low. But yes, Jason is right. Sometimes we like songs and we think those songs are the best thing in the world, but are they hits though? Thank you for that, Jason. Custom Design says salute. Tribal says big facts. We need a West Coast versus. That'll be nice. Let's see what happens with that, Iman. Tribal says if M does a versus, he gonna stay away from the trash like Revival, Marshall Mathers LP2, Comic. Yes, yes. Please do not play anything off of these new albums, M. If you do a versus, please. That's facts. Freedom is Gold is here. Freedom is Gold. Thanks for coming through. I'm going to give the last comment to Triborough. Triborough is laughing at my man, Mem Bleak. Yo, listen, man. Mem Bleak is my man, son. You know, yo, you know how it goes, man. Rockefeller Records. Adrian Colin just joined. Adrian, thanks for joining. Triborough, you know the Rockefeller days, man. But listen, I'm going to do another Mem Bleak album review. And we're going to talk about some more Mem Bleak stuff down the line, yo. Y'all know how I feel about Mem Bleak. Y'all know it's The Rock all day, every day. Yo, listen, I'm going to get one more comment to the newcomer, Adrian Colin. Final comment for the night. Thanks for coming through, Adrian. Adrian says, there's a difference between hits and classic. Lil' Kim has classics, and that is facts. Just like Jason said, man. Yo, thank you all for coming through. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow. Freestyle Friday is going to be crazy. It's your boy on